hair look okay?
It looks fine. So we're married now.
Oh yeah! You gotta get sweaty! You gotta get sweaty in here! It's time to get sweaty!
Hey everyone, I got some new merch. There's really nothing more to say except for the fact that I think it's pretty f***ing cool. Yeah, new merch. Go check it out. Oh, I see that cool pint glass. I made that. And I made that too. Ooh, and that. That's, yeah, I like that one. So, yeah, go buy some HMODS merch. It let your friends know how cool it is. How cool I am. Or that you think I'm cool, whatever. Yeah, thanks. You're in the shot. Get out of the shot. So, we're back. And, yeah, things have changed. You might notice that I've dropped a few pounds, and that number is 22. It's been a couple of months, and no sooner did I finish the Commander than I had to put it back on the operating table because of this. I managed to find one of these on Amazon for a decent price, and we got it right away. Danielle has been a trooper when it comes to stuff like this because, you know, she's got, you know, creative control because I'm a smart individual. So, yeah, so this came...
I say that I have creative control. It is not the case. I get to tell you my ideas, and it works out great.
What she said. So this came into the picture, which meant that the RX 580 that's currently in there, it's also a Nitro Plus. This came into the picture, and I was like, well, we might as well make a video out of it. Why? Because of a size issue. Now, if you know, I love this thing. I have operated on this thing many, many times, and it's, you know, the best work I've ever done. But modern technology necessitates adaptation, because this thing, as you'll notice, is pretty decently sized. There's a clearance issue because where the end of the graphics card is, there's possibly 1.5 inches worth of clearance between the end of the card and the 5 1/4 inch drive bay. And that's an issue because also there's an AIO going way down to the bottom of the case. So one thing, quick change, I have this, which is also going to go into the case. And what this is, there's a guy on Etsy who came up with this wonderful idea of creating this. This is a fan mount for a 5 1/4 inch drive bay. So this is going to go in there as well. And he's even making me HMODS one. So there's a little insignia right there. It's going to be going one of these corners, and it's really tiny. So this is going in there, which is fine. I might be able to keep the I might be able to keep the AIO. I don't think I will, which is where this comes in. Since the graphics card, since this is easily 2 inches longer, quit making sex jokes. Since this is easily 2 inches longer than the RX 580, that means the AIO is most definitely going to have to go. So this Scythe Ninja 5 is going to take over duties as the tower air cooler, which is fucking huge. And also, the drive bay has to get cut into because since this is so much longer, there's no way it is not going to run into it. So I'm going to have to cut a little slot. I had considered putting the graphics card on the bottom PCI slot, but it's a PCI 8 and not a 16, so I could use it, but I wouldn't be getting as much out of it as I possibly can, because this is not something I want to play around with. What? I don't notice anything different. This is always here. Anyway, so everything has to come out. New motherboard, new processor, extra Patriot Viper, 1 terabyte M.2. That's all going in. New fans because the Corsairs, you know, I like Corsair, but their commander hub sucks royal donkey balls. So I'm pulling the Corsairs out and I'm putting these up here.
You're gonna have a great blooper roll after
Yeah,
this.
totally. I'm pulling out the crappy Corsair fans and putting in these up here fans, which are also PWM and they're ARGB. So that's all going in. These, by the way, 6 fans, 1/3 of the cost of 3 Corsair fans. And that's not even including the commander hub. This stuff cost me $40 and they are well worth the money. My only gripe with up here is that they don't have a fucking website. There's no website. They have Amazon and that's it. China. What are you gonna do? So all that's coming out. We got this brand new ROG Strix B550 to accommodate the Ryzen 5600X that's going in. We've got another Patriot Viper VPN 100 1TB going in to replace the Samsung 860 EVO 250 GB one that I used for the boot drive. So that's going in, which is we're gonna have to like pull off all the, because you've got the cover and the heat sink for M.2s, so these will be coming off and not going back in. Oh well. And then we're gonna take out the Corsair lighting strip because it works and that's great, but I always wanted to light this side of the case and I couldn't do it. So we've got 6 RGB strips now instead of 3. So now we can do the other side too. So the N7 will be nice and brightly lit. Not that it matters because it's going right back on a fucking shelf. So yeah, we've got a lot of work to do. Danielle and I are well and truly primed and raring to go to get back into work. So let's get to it.
Too close.
Let's fucking go. Oh.
Did you just scratch it?
I think it's not that bad. Okay, so first things first, this is just to satisfy my own curiosity. And I know where this is gonna go, but I'm gonna check and see if it fits. I know it's not going to, but this is for science. Science! For those of you playing along with the home game, that's Bill Nye the Science Guy.
I was thinking of a song.
Huh?
She blinded me with science.
Oh. That might be where he got that from. Wow, I never thought of that. So this is the 6700 XT that's going in here, and that's the RX 580 that's coming out of there. And what we're going to do is, in vain, check to see if it's going to fit. Nope. Well. Like if it does fit, and it's not going to, because this is where, can you get in there?
Yeah.
That's about a good 1/4 inch, and that's right about where, wow. Okay.
Cut that out there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to, and thankfully it's not very much, and I really wasn't planning on doing that in the first place, but now that I'm looking at it, like, the AIO might not even have to come out. It's gonna, but science. So the first thing we gotta do is take apart the frame. I don't know if nobody sees this because it sits on a shelf. I'm really, really proud of this because, as I said in the last video, that was done with no special tools. You should go back and watch the the first Commander video. All this was done with an angle grinder or a Dremel. No mill, no laser cutter, nothing like that. All of this was done with tools you can get at Menards for like 30 bucks, tops. So this is, right there, that's where the fan is going to go. And it just fits in there just like that, and it's going to be directly underneath. So there's a fan that's going to go on the inside of this. If you don't know what this is, by the way, I highly recommend getting one of these if you have an older case, or getting an older case so that you can have one of these. It's just a tiny little drawer that I got on Wish. I got this for like $5, I think, maybe. And it takes a while to get here. Or you can get one of these on Amazon. I think Scythe makes this one. So, like, you can get this. You can get this on Wish for like $5, or you can get it on Amazon for like $10 with free shipping or something like that. I'm not gonna. I can see right away. I'm not gonna have to take apart the chassis. The drive bay rivets are right here, across this here, and then like there's one here, and then that's. Yeah, there's like one up here, and then that's pretty much. There might be two. There's these two right here. This one.
So you can't just go in there and cut it while it's on.
I can just drill this out, and no, I wouldn't want to do that in the first place because you're gonna leave metal shavings all over the place. I mean, yeah, that would be cool, but that's just a recipe for disaster because then you're dealing with. You're dealing with magnetism, you're dealing with static discharge, and none of that is good. Is it me or is that thing sagging a little bit?
It's totally sagging.
Okay, well that's another good thing to talk about. You know how I'm a huge fan of up here. Well, I got this for a very good price as well. It is an ARGB. It's a GPU bracket. So sag will not be a problem with the 6700. That was $12. So all of this is just coming out. All of it's coming. I don't know why I'm taking my time with this at all, because all of it is coming out. So these are TeknoAXE Cool Force. They were gracious enough to hook me up with a few of these, and when I have the opportunity, I'm gonna use them. Normally, as you know, I don't like to use cable ties or anything like that because it just looks really cool. But something like this, when it's adding an aesthetic thing, yeah, I'm gonna try to. I've also got one here, and then I've got one way the hell up here by the CPU power, and then oh, I hate removing all this crap. I think I'll have to reapply all the double stick tape too. Oh, this is gonna take so much longer than I thought it was going to. Yeah. We'll get it done in an hour, you know. Someone asked me how I did this, and it's not even that big a deal. All it is just a sheet of plexiglass, and then I printed out this graphic of the Citadel in Mass Effect. And really, it's just very simple. You glue these pieces together, you glue the paper on with some adhesive spray, and you just have to cut this out first, and then you just cut out the hole with a X-Acto knife. So the reason why I'm taking all this off is because there's a rail issue, because the motherboard that's going in has an 8-pin and a 4-pin power cable on the CPU. So we're gonna have to put another cable in here, which is gonna be so much fun. But I've got one, so that's fine. Right here, I honestly thought that this like bent right away and there was an issue. I completely forgot about the issue that we actually had, which was running into the fan blades. Okay, so these Corsairs, they're coming out first. And then we have to, oh man. Then we have to pull out the CPU power, because I'm not gonna reach in there. Only companies like Corsair and NZXT and Thermaltake and all that crap, they will come up with systems so that you actually have to buy 2 different pieces to make all your shit work with it. Corsair is just a wonderful like genius brand of, hey, how can we screw the public? Great business, but they're fucking assholes. I will say this, they make good products, but I am not a fan of supporting brands that really don't give a shit about the consumer. Normally, I wouldn't give a shit about doing this, but again, since we're cutting and drilling, that's a great way to get static electricity and fry the hard drives. And I've already done that. I don't want to do that ever again. This is the cable for the AIO. It comes down to the bottom of the motherboard. When you can, and this is just a message from old Hobbs, when you can, if you want to minimize zip ties, use the grooves of the case in your favor. You'll notice what I did here. 14 years ago, these probably served, you probably threw zip ties around this. I just used the grooves for the AIO cable, and it works just perfectly. No zip ties needed, and it looks a lot cleaner. I feel like Peter Griffin when he's trying to pick up the frog with a shoebox, but he keeps slipping it on the windowsill. So what we're going to do now is cut it here, and then when we come back you will see everything out of the case and we'll get ready for cutting. So